How about doing a book now today? Although Mondays to Saturdays was what I thought was that we do meditations, and Sunday was a book day at 8 o'clock, all at 8 o'clock. But over the last week or so, I have been doing meditations during the day as well. So I thought, why not do a book? So let's do that, and maybe we could do the meditation tomorrow, and then again on Saturday probably, and then the book on Sunday. So the book here that I have is That's Not My Name. It is by the author Megan Lally, and here's what it is about. She thought she had her life back, and she was wrong. So it was a mistake to trust him. Shivering and bruised, a teen wakes up on the side of a dirt road with no memory of how she got there or who she is. So the police don't know where she came from until a frantic man arrives at the station. He's been searching for her for hours. He has her school ID, her birth certificate, and even family photos. So he is her father. Her name is Mary, or so he says. When Lola slammed the car door and stormed off into the night, Drew thought they just needed some time to cool off. This is except when Lola disappeared. So now his friends, the sheriff, and the whole town are convinced that Drew murdered his girlfriend. So forget proving his innocence, he needs to find her. The longer Lola is missing, the fewer leads there are to follow, and the more danger they both are in. So, as April Henry, New York Times bestselling author of Two Truths and a Lie and Girl Stolen, says that this book begs to be read in a single adrenaline fueled sitting. So, let's go and do just that. So there are book summaries here for you. There are quotes explained, question and answers like for book discussions, and as well as MCQs, themes, motifs, symbols, all of that. So that's coming up in later private links that you can get in touch with me at my email, which is saritamwariyer@gmail.com, which is all in small capital letters. You can also WhatsApp message me at +91, that's a country code for India, 90614318110. Or you could just call me at 9961664026. And I'll let you know how and when you can get these private links of mine, which have the full complete book summaries for you, which have the question and answers, book discussion, questions and their answers, and a lots more, even annotations, even quotes which are explained. And of course, here's an excerpt for you. Before that, let's see some more about the praise for this. I don't see any criticism. In fact, there's only praise, positive vibes there. So, advance praise for That's Not My Name. April Henry, New York Times best-selling author of Girl Stolen, Stolen Girl, and Two Truths and a Lie, says, in this book, it is secrets, lies, betrayal. So get ready for a roller coaster ride where nothing is what it seems. That's Not My Name begs to be read in a single adrenaline-fueled sitting. Tense, heart-wrenching, and addictive, Lally's pulse-pounding debut is an exciting first entry for an author we should all be watching, says Courtney Gold, author of The Dead and the Dark. Jessie Weaver, author of Live Your Best Life, says that with her masterful use of carefully placed details to build suspense, Lally asks, just because something is obvious, does that make it true? And then a gripping emotional page turner is what Rachel Lynn Solomon, best-selling author of Today, Tonight and Tomorrow, says. It is a page turner with an undeniable tenderness at its center. So there's Megan Lally's writing. She says it's sharp, it's wholly immersive, with a keen eye for detail and a sly sense of humor. So the book will leave you breathless. So catching your breath there, we'll go on and see this book, which has been dedicated by the author for her dad. So you would have been the most excited about this, she says. I miss you always. On a touching note there, let's start off. So chapter 1 is all about the girl. So it's day 1. I think I might be dead. So the book that we're doing here is That's Not My Name. It is by Megan Lally and it's a nice book. So here she's saying that I think I might be dead. That's the starting line here. So these starting lines are so powerful, aren't they? They just set the story, the place, the setting of the story is somewhere beyond there. That is so full of suspense, and it begins the whole thing so imaginatively and sets the pulse racing already. So here's how it starts. I try to gather my bearings, but I can't see. I feel nothing, not even my own body. The lack of sensation, the way the silence wraps me in a hug and squeezes, it's unnerving. I want it to stop until the pain comes. It hits like a full body punch. My mind scrambles to catalog what hurts, but it all hurts. My hand twitches against something that's scratchy beneath me. So I'm lying on my stomach and something pointy presses into my ribs. I move my chin and then my cheekbone drags against damp earth. It smells like decay and old leaves. Fear kicks up my pulse. Look at the line there. Look at the way she's put that. Fear kicks up my pulse. I'm outside. How the hell did I get here? I try to look around, but my eyelids scrape like my lashes are made of glass and nails. They slammed shut before I can see anything. An engine roars and I tense, pain shooting down my arms. My hair blows across my face as a vehicle whips past. Then it's quiet again. I'm beside a road. Did the driver see me? Why didn't they stop? I make another desperate attempt to see. My eyes flood with tears this time. I blink to clear my vision and shake the hair from my face. Holy dash dash dash. It's so dark. No streetlights, no houses. There aren't even stars in the sky. My eyes slowly adjust. No wonder the car didn't stop. I'm lying in a long ditch, sunken into leaves and bracken. Twigs twist up into the air like claws. The ditch clings to the side of a narrow dirt road that runs straight out ahead of me, then disappears into a wobbly blur of trees. Panic nests in my throat, and my mind fills with more questions I can't answer. Where am I? How did I get here? Am I in danger? Why does everything hurt so bad? I need to get up. I don't know where I'm going, but moving seems safer than lying here. My fingers stick into the dirt as I try to drag my knees beneath me, and for the first time, I notice how cold I am. I can barely feel the tips of my fingers. My arms threaten to buckle, but I push myself to my feet, and bruises stretch around my bones. There's an involuntary wail escapes my mouth. For a moment, I forgot how to breathe. The pain is everywhere. My heartbeat pounds in my ears, and it's at least 11 bar dubs before I can draw in another breath. Tears spill down my face, stinging my cheeks. I lift my icicle fingers to my nose to my nose. It feels hot, swollen. My fingers come away dark and wet. I taste blood. My nose might be broken. I have to get out of here. The road looks the same in the other direction. Only dirt and trees. I slowly make my way out of the ditch. Briars scrape at my bare arms. I duck to pass under a tree limb, and its branches pull at me like hands. An image soars through my mind without warning. Tiny square doors with keyholes in a box by the road. A cluster mailbox, maybe. A burnt out street light. Big hands reaching for me. I recoil and I stumble into the middle of the road. My heart rattles against my rib cage until my chest muscles hurt. What actually was that? Did someone grab me? So they're all simple questions, but my mind supplies zero faith and force another step. I need help. I really need help. Maybe another car will pass or I can find a house. I have to keep moving. I don't know how long I stumble along, but it feels like hours. My mind zones out and snaps back so many times that I wonder if I'm losing consciousness. Maybe I already have. Maybe this progress is all in my head and I'm still in that ditch. Or worse, maybe I'm dead and this is hell. An endless purgatory of pain and solitude. I'm doomed to wander until the end of time, looking for help that will never come. Red and blue lights flicker on behind me, filling the road with color. A whoop whoop from a police car almost startles me to the ground, but sheer relief keeps me standing. Somebody's gonna help me. Tires crunch as they come to a stop, and the lights create a me-shaped silhouette in the dirt. I start to turn. Do not move. Hands where I can see them. A man shouts. My hands go up automatically, and a moment later, a door slams. What is this? Did I do something wrong? Is that how I ended up here? Am I running from the cops? Should I run now? Turn around. I do, squinting into the bright headlights of the patrol car. An officer stands beside his vehicle, face in shadow, hand on the gun in his holster. I feel whatever blood still in my face drain away, because when I glance down at myself in the light, all I can see is dirt and blood. There's so much blood. Jesus, you're just a kid. The officer says, taking his hands off his weapon. He creeps forward. What happened to you? Did someone do this? I open my mouth to answer, but my knees give out and I drop. The cops try to catch me, but we both hit the dirt hard. He grabs at the radio receiver on his shoulder, but I can hear what he's saying over the roaring in my ears and the caged animal thrashing around in my chest. I stare at my hands, my jeans, leggings, the front of my light gray t-shirt, covered in blotches of dried mud and dark rivers of blood. Hands grip my shoulders. I look up at the officer. His words defog in my mind. Can you hear me? Paramedics are on their way, but I need to know who you are, he pleads. What's your name? My name? I blink at him and I reach for the answer. But no matter how hard I try, I hit that wall in my mind every time. What's my name? How is that a hard question? I try to breathe, but it's too much. I start hyperventilating. Fresh tears pool in my eyes. What's your name? What's your name? I grab my throbbing head. I don't know. So that was a powerful first chapter there for you. It's so interesting that I just have to do the second one. So it's still day one, but it's chapter two, and it's again about the girl. The grey walls of the police station look as lifeless as I feel. The patrolman who found me, Officer Bowman, sits across the table from me. We're in a conference room, or maybe it's an interrogation room. There's only one window, but it faces the interior of the station and it's blacked out. He left the door open though, so I must not be someone they want to keep locked in. That's good at least. I may not know. Good at least. He hasn't stopped worrying at his lips since I refused medical treatment. I may not know who I am, but I sure as hell know that nobody can make me go to the hospital if I don't want to. Bright lights and loud sounds, more faces I don't recognize, no way of telling who is a threat and who isn't. No, thank you. A few hours ago, the parademics cleaned the blood from my skin, which apparently all came from my nose. It's bruised, not broken, but hurts all the same. And I have a lump on the side of my head. So I've been told to look for concussion system symptoms for the next few days. They declare the rest of my injuries superficial and bandage what they could. You look pretty bad, Officer Bowman said after the paramedics failed one final time to get me to go to the hospital. There's a procedure that we need to follow. You should get checked out by a doctor, get a rape kit. I blocked out the rest. There are some things I can't even begin to think about. Not today, maybe not ever. That's one of them. When they realized I wouldn't budge about going to the ER, both parademics and Officer Bowman exchanged a look and left me alone on a stretcher inside the ambulance to talk outside. So if they didn't want me to eavesdrop, they should have whispered. That creepy road was silent as a grave, and it did nothing to keep my voices from drifting back to me. All of her bruises look new. I guess within the next couple of hours, within the last couple of hours, fresh swelling, the tall, wiry paramedic said, and that plus the injuries to her face could point out to some kind of an impact, maybe a car accident. She doesn't have bruising from a seat belt, but the injuries to her nose could be from an airbag or a steering wheel. So, with a head contusion on the left, it's possible she might have hit the driver's side window, but it's only a guess. Regardless, her vitals are fine. She's not in any immediate medical danger. So I clung to that version of events, my hands fishing in the papery stretcher sheets. A car accident was better than the other, darker possibilities, and if it didn't require a rape kit. So Bowman took notes while tall and wiry climbed back into the ambulance and handed me a fresh ice pack. Good luck, he said as he helped me down. The ice pack sits on the table between me and Officer Bowman. Though it's warm now, it's been here for hours. He squints at me like he's waiting for me to start screaming or for my head to spin around. And who knows, maybe it will. I mean, I'm basically a character from a teen horror movie. So covered in blood, a check. Bruised to hell, check. Wandering, terrified, in the middle of the night, check. A steaming cup of hot chocolate, six next to the room temperature ice pack, but I don't reach for it. I don't move, I don't say a word. Wrapped in the scratchy blanket, the officer draped around my shoulders, I try not to think. But because the alternative means navigating the holes in my memory, and I can't bear to do any more of that than what I've already done. So Officer Bowman's chair creaks as he leans forward. He's youngish, maybe 26 or 27, with a baby face and eager blue eyes. He looks like a lemma with a badge. You should drink that, he said, nodding at the mug. You may be in shock. I shrug. When the paramedics left, Bowman switched gears, apparently determined to make me feel better however he could. He brought me to the precinct, though I don't remember much of the drive. And when he noticed my wrecked shoes, I don't know what color they were before, but they had become a kind of tie-dye of dried blood and forest sludge. He gave me a clean pair of black socks from his work bag and a sweatshirt. It's navy blue and says Alton Police Department on the upper right side. It fits like a shower curtain, but the fabric is soft and warm. Once I was dry, he smiled. Feel better? I did, right up till I caught sight of my reflection in the dark interior window, and I didn't know if the person that was I didn't know who the person was who was staring back at me. So now I don't want to talk ever. I don't have anything to share with him anyway. I'm a nobody with no name and a stranger's face. Miss, he says, can you hear me? I nod. Miss, you need to drink something. I really wish you'd let me take you to the hospital. You're very pale. So, this is a book that we're doing, which is That's Not My Name. It is by Megan Lally. I'll be back soon.